Hello everybody! Welcome to the channel and the series known as Rewriting Wrestling History. In this series, I go back and rebook shows, angles, and matches chosen by you, the audience. I would like to thank my niece for choosing today's topic and editing this video. We are going to look back at one of the worst pay-per-views of all time, December to Dismember. When the pay-per-view is announced, the Extreme Elimination Chamber is announced as the main event. Weapons will be attached to the outside of each pod. Each wrestler can bring in an additional weapon from under the ring as they enter. Of course, the Big Show comes out as the champion and declares the chamber pointless. He can beat anyone on any brand. He pressures Heyman into allowing him to issue an open challenge for the championship. Umaga from Raw comes out and answers this challenge and defeats the Big Show in an increasingly violent match, with Umaga hitting 3 Samoan spikes in a row to gain the championship. This leads to Umaga going to ECW and Big Show going to Raw. Now Heyman wants to shake up his roster, so he trades Shannon Moore for Chris Benoit, Mike Knox for Finlay, Great Khali for Jeff Hardy, Kelly for Kid Cash, Kozlov for Super Crazy, Matt Striker and Rene Dupree for Rey Mysterio, Daivari for Shelton Benjamin, Shelly Martinez for Carlito, Trinity for William Regal. This leaves the ECW roster as William Regal, Umaga, Benoit, Finlay, Hardy, CM Punk, Sandman, Sabu, Hardcore Holly, Test, Tommy Dreamer, Steven Richards, RVD, Al Snow, Balls Mahoney, Just Incredible, Kid Cash, Super Crazy, Rey Mysterio, Elijah Burke, Kevin Thorne, Shelton Benjamin, and Carlito. Now, RVD uses his rematch clause to get into the chamber. Hardcore Holly defeats Jeff Hardy in a qualifying match after interference from Johnny Nitro. Rey Mysterio beats Regal to get into the chamber. Test beats Dreamer to qualify. And then Punk defeats Burke to get into the chamber. The next week on ECW on Sci-Fi, the return of the ECW Television Championship is announced. An 8-wrestler tournament is going to crown the new champion, with each round becoming randomized so the matches stay fresh. Burke, Kevin Thorne, Shelton Benjamin, William Regal, Kid Cash, Super Crazy, Richards, and Finlay are announced as the participants. The finals will be at ECW December to Dismember. The opening round matches are Regal versus Finlay, Benjamin versus Cash, Burke versus Richards, Thorne versus Crazy. Regal beats Finlay in a hard-hitting affair. Benjamin defeats Kid Cash. Richards defeats Burke. And Thorne defeats Crazy. Benjamin faces Kevin Thorne in the first semifinal. Regal faces Richards in the second semifinal. Benjamin defeats Thorne. And Regal defeats Richards, setting up Benjamin versus Regal for the ECW television title. Nitro and Jeff Hardy have been having a feud on Raw, but when the trade happens, Hardy is on ECW. Nitro invades ECW to attack Hardy, so Hardy responds by invading Raw. This continues back and forth, so finally Heyman calls the 3 GMs together, and he pitches an idea of Eminem versus the Hardys in an Extreme Rules tag team match at December to Dismember, in a little cross-brand match that helps out all 3 brands. Now, Elijah Burke is frustrated because he lost his qualifying match for the world title. He lost his match for the television title tournament, so he blames it on the original ECW and their wrestlers. So he declares ECW as garbage wrestling, saying it should have died in 2001. Carlito comes out and agrees with Burke. Now they continue bashing every ECW original, and every version of ECW should have been dead a long time ago. Never should have come back, should have been something different. So Dreamer comes out to defend it, but knowing his reputation for just hardcore matches, he calls to the back. Out comes Kid Cash and Super Crazy to attack Carlito and Burke. So it's finally announced after weeks of back and forth where the teams beat the crap out of each other that a tag team match will happen at the pay-per-view. As well as Chris Benoit issuing a friendly challenge to Finlay. And then a Hardcore Rules match is booked between Sandman, Dreamer, and Al Snow. So we get to the show. Our opening contest is this Extreme Rules tag team match between Eminem and the Hardys, where they are bashing each other with everything they can from under the ring. All four men are bloody and brutalized, and it leads to a spot with a Twist of Fate, Swanton Bomb combination into thumbtacks for the win. 1, 2, 3, Hardy Boys take the victory. In our next contest, a hard-hitting one-on-one match between Chris Benoit and Finlay, seeing suplexes, strikes, flying headbutts, Celtic crosses, and finally, after 15 minutes of back-and-forth war, Benoit locks in the crossface, gets the tap out, and now we go to our next contest, our Hardcore Rules 6-man tag. Steven Richards, Kevin Thorne, and Justin Credible versus Sandman, Dreamer, and Al Snow. This match is extremely violent. We have cheese graters, beer kegs, popcorn machines, pallets, thumbtacks, barbed wire kendo sticks, barbed wire boards. Finally, after it spills into the parking lot, they drag a table out, light it on fire, triple power bomb onto Kevin Thorne through the flaming table. 1, 2, 3, Sandman, Dreamer, and Al Snow get the victory. Our next contest is our grudge match. Carlito and Elijah Burke take on Kid Cash and Super Crazy in a hard-hitting, high-flying affair that just takes the breath away and shows the fans, no, this isn't just going to be about hardcore violence. Carlito and Burke, isolate and decimate Kid Cash. Then Super Crazy is hit with the Elijah experience into the backstabber. 1, 2, 3, Carlito and Burke get the victory. Now is our ECW Television Championship match. Shelton Benjamin versus William Regal. In a high-hitting affair that just leads move for move, counter for counter. And finally, William Regal reverses Shelton Benjamin's T-bone attempt into a Regal stretch, gets the tap out. Your new television champion, William Regal. Now it is time for our main event, the ECW World Championship on the line, Extreme Elimination Chamber. For first pods, Test comes out with a baseball bat. Rey Mysterio comes out with cookie sheets. Rob Van Dam with a ladder. And Umaga with a barbed wire kendo stick. Starting the match, CM Punk coming out with brass knucks. And Hardcore Holly coming out with a steel chair that has thumbtacks super glued to it. And Punk and Holly brutalize each other starting the match. Test enters and at number 3, leading to a double team by Hardcore and Test on Punk. Rey Mysterio comes out with his cookie sheet and starts whacking both Hardcore Holly and Test in the head. Test is hit into the rope, 619 into the GTS, which leads 1, 2, 3. Test is out. Then we have Hardcore Holly starting to isolate Rey Mysterio and ends up getting an Alabama Slam reversed into a small package. 1, 2, 3. Hardcore is out. Next is RVD entering with his ladder. He hits both Rey Mysterio and Punk in the head with the ladder, sets it up in the corner, brutalizing both his opponents with the ladder. Umaga enters fifth with the barbed wire bat, nails all three of the remaining men, busting them wide open. Rey Mysterio is hit with a Samoan spike, and then a second one. 1, 2, 3. Rey is out. RVD trying to hit Punk after a Samoan spike with the frog splash. After hitting Umaga with the Van Daminator, goes up to the top to hit Punk with the 5-star frog splash. He misses. Umaga hits him with 3 Samoan spikes. 1, 2, 3. RVD is out. Punk grabs the barbed wire kendo stick and starts whacking Umaga with it repeatedly. Every weapon he can find, just knocking Umaga down to the ground. He pulls out some duct tape, duct tapes a street sign to his knee, and then picks up Umaga GTS into the street sign. 1, 2, 3. And that is it. CM Punk is your new ECW World Champion. If you like what you see in here, please hit that like, subscribe button, share the video out. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please comment below with your suggestions for next video, as well as what you thought of this one. Thank you very much. Peace!